times. I feel like this should be like that. Okay. Pew! Also, do you want me to make the trees look like they're in hell, or just like regular trees? Like red trees? I might do red trees anyways. Or just like trees. Okay, cool. Core memory. You did warn me, and I still was surprised. There was no tree. No trees! No kitchen. Oh, I forget, I can do this. Phew. Like, yeah, bruh, there's no kitchen, so don't freak out. And I was like, where's the kitchen? Gone. Uh-oh. Don't crash, Photoshop. Phew. Good, good. What? Why won't you let me draw there? Okay, okay. 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 Photoshop is having a moment. And then there was no bathroom. Oh my gosh. Why is Photoshop freaking out? Chill, buddy. It's okay. Okay, we're good. Just had to load for a second. When you go to shower and the entire bathroom is missing. Very interesting. It doesn't happen every day. Rip. I think it's because I rotated the canvas. It was like, how dare you rotate the canvas? I'm going to explode. Like, no, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry, bruh. Don't worry. It's gonna be fine. Okay. Thinking... We're sitting on like a stool. Awesome. Oh, that's rude. It'll just crash randomly. That's not very nice when you're trying to draw. That would be quite annoying. Usually after finish rendering. No! Might not have a lot of space in there, I guess. I don't know. At least if Photoshop crashes, it has like an automatic save on it. It just doesn't tell you. You just have to log back on and open your Photoshop again and it appears. It's not like Animate, because Adobe Animate saves a copy and it's called backup or whatever, recover or something, I don't know. But Photoshop doesn't do that, it just kind of stores it in its memory. And when you open it up again, it'll be there, which is, it's good too. Sometimes I have to delete the recovery files, so. Do more animations too, now that I've graduated animation school. Let's go! Got my concept art diploma and my 2D animation diploma. And now, time to do concept art. And learn 3D. I'm just learning it by myself. It's pretty easy to learn Blender. And I learned that people in the industry do not care if you use Blender or Maya. They will... Oh! Oh, 1 second. So epic. I'm gonna darken these lines, some of them. Oh, that's what you needed over here. Like that. Anyways, they don't mind if you use Blender, so I'll just teach myself Blender. I thought I had to learn like Maya, which people don't really care. Not when you're using 3D to make your concepts better, or what is it called, to do paintovers. They don't care. So that's nice. That's very nice of them. You just sculpt out a pot or a creature vaguely and then paint over top of it. I've seen people do it with environments, which when people are like, this isn't a background hack, you just build what you want to draw in Minecraft and then trace over it. That's literally what concept artists do. But instead of using Minecraft, they use 3D software. Or I saw somebody use The Sims for it. And some people are like, that's cheating, but it's not cheating, you're still drawing. You're just getting the perspective, really. I don't know. A lot of people that in the art community that say it's cheating, all this stuff is used in the industry. Especially if you're putting in the effort to make it. You're not just like tracing somebody else's 3D, but even then that's also a... Usually if you're doing it in the industry, they would give you something to trace. Part of the workflow. From a 3D artist. But it's better when you can do it yourself. It's okay. I think the art community is a lot different from traditional art, which is what I would call the industry. So I guess the traditional art community, it's different. It's like furry artists versus like industry artists, which can overlap. Although I guess the art community is its own thing. It's not always just furries. But yeah. Does that make sense? No. I'll do that. When you have to do clothing folds. Okay, now little arm. The arm is left. Exactly. The art community is a whole different creature altogether. It's a little crazy sometimes. Luckily though, I didn't get too much into that when I was in the art community on Instagram. I didn't really... I think one person said that I copied their character, but then when I was like, what do you mean? They just didn't answer, so I guess they changed their mind. I guess they changed their mind. Maybe they got the wrong person. I don't know. I think a lot of the time back then it was a lot of insecurity and not actually. It's just drama. I don't know. It was just drama. So whatever. Like that, maybe? Yeah? Okay, cool. I don't know if I should I don't know if I should play Spore Minecraft on Saturday. I kind of want to start a new Spore game. I like Spore. Spore's good. Spore got its resurgence, sort of. Good job, Spore. It's very interesting to me that no other game has been created like Spore except for games that call themselves Spore clones. It's like the formula is way too unique. It's interesting. There's been nothing like it, so like how does that even happen? I don't know. There's a lot of creativity going into that project, though. It's crazy. That's why they run into. I have the Evolution, which is like it's an art book, but it's also like a behind the scenes of Spore book. And it's like narrated by Will Wright, which is the guy who made it, and also some of the artists. And they talk about the process and like what went into making the game. And it was I'm trying to find a picture of it, but I don't know. It was a huge undertaking in the fact that they were kind of making a game that built itself. Because, you know, usually games you hire artists to make, like, this is what the cover looks like. I can't find any inside images, I guess. But usually games have a certain set of, like, 3D models and characters and creatures and environment, like plants, you know, environments, whatever. Spore was like, what if we let the player create their entire universe from scratch, including creatures and plants and buildings and all this? So they had to, instead of focusing on, you know, like a cohesive theme or whatever, they had to focus on how would they allow players to make their own game. And so that every game is unique, but it's not too hard because then people wouldn't play it. One of the hardest things they said was making the creature creator sort of like a dumbed down 3D modeling software. Because everyone has to make their creatures from pretty much scratch. And they wanted to have a lot of freedom in that sense, but they also didn't want to make it boring for non-artists. So you have like, this body is it's pretty bendable. You can like add more spine, twist it, whatever, make a tail. But then they have these pre-made assets. These are the eyes, and the noses, and the ears. They modeled parts instead of creatures. They got their artists to make different eyes, different mouths, different feet, different horns. And then they had to program this entire thing where people would just... It's so hard to explain. Putting these pieces would create a 3D model that would be playable within the game fully. And it was one of the largest challenges that they faced. But they did it! They freaking did it! They had to do procedural animation? Procedural animation. I think that's what it's called. Basically, the computer has to render, texture, and animate this 3D model within like 5 seconds. And at the time, it was nothing they've ever seen before, because, you know, when you're rendering a 3D model, it could take a few hours. You know, all the shininess, all the patterns, whatever. And forget about animating it, holy moly, that takes a while. But the computer had to learn how to do it in seconds. And somehow they pulled it off. And it looks silly, and I love it so much. You can make some really good stuff, though. This is really good. I really want to work on a game like that, where they just try to push the boundaries of everything because they just want to. So why not create a game where everybody has the utmost creative freedom? It's gonna be a little difficult because no one's done this before, but we're gonna do it. And nobody's done it since, because it's hard. And it's so unique that... I mean, some people are doing it. See, you can make good stuff. It still has an art style to it. These are no mods, too. You can obviously mod Spore, but... yeah. Just some Spore appreciation, because I love it. The creator said that he wanted it to be a tool, a creative tool, rather than just a video game. Like, you go into this game, and maybe you'll play around with the creatures, but mostly you'll just create stuff, and it'll be a tool for creation, really. It's like going into a sandbox. And you can do anything. They purposefully made this, these creature editors, you know, moldable enough that you could make whatever the heck you want. Trying to find more examples. Some of them are modded. Like, they made like a game controller. This looks like a fleshy game controller. The only thing is, it's notoriously hard to make humans on Spore, which is really funny. I mean, you can do it, but it's kind of hard. There's a lot more. It's a lot easier to make an alien creature than it is to make a regular human. But you could still do it. Look at this little dude. Isn't that adorable? So cute. Someone made a Caterpie straight up. See? That's what I'm talking about. I love how these are just like little creatures. I love tiny creatures and big creatures. Like, what? What? This is the kind of stuff I want to create concept art for, bruh. This is crazy. I love Spore. It's awesome. Totally. Maybe I'll play that since I'm so thinking about it right now. Since I'm thinking about it so much. Sometimes I use it to make ideas for concept art. You know, make a little creature in Spore and then draw them. It's useful. Oh my gosh, you got a shiny! What shiny did you get? I think my favorite shiny I've ever gotten was the Hisuian Zoroa. I love that little dude. I named her Akane. So true. Hippowdon. Let's go. Let's go. That's how I say it. The male hippowdon.